This video is about plugins that are meant to help you as a designer or developer. Now, there's a sense in which any plugin for WordPress is helping you as a designer or developer. It makes it easy to add functionality. But these are specifically for your purposes, things that'll make your life easier when you're in development mode, and may also help your clients depending on how things are set up and what they need and how much expertise they've got in handling WordPress. Anyway, here we go. Reveal IDs. Now, by default, WordPress does not show you the ID number for various items. So we're looking at our list of posts here. There's nothing here that tells us the ID number. We can mouse over, and if you look down on the status bar, you'll see post equals 53 in the URL, post equals 51. So you can do it that way, and that works perfectly fine, but I like to have them visible on this list and for everything. So let's go over to our plugins here, and we're just going to add new, and we type in reveal ID, and up it comes here. There we go, reveal IDs, and I'm going to install it right now. Yes, indeed. And there it goes, and let me activate it. So now when I go back over to here, I do have to, forgot about this, you've got to save the options once to tell it who can view these. And I'm going to make an administrator, although I could set these all to editor or author and so forth and make sure people at that level of capability can do it. But right now we'll just save it for administrators. We could go in and change that later on, of course. There we go. That should be, yes, there our message is gone. Now when I go to posts, there we go. The ID number is visible to us all the time. If I go to categories, the ID is visible all the time. So that's a very handy one to have for development. Now, Widget Logic. This is a great little plugin because it saves you the trouble of trying to somehow make a widget only appear under certain circumstances. That's not an easy thing to do. If you were coding the sidebar manually, of course, you could say, if I'm in this category, display this sidebar item. But when people are operating widgets, you don't have that control. Certainly not easily. You'd have to go in and modify the widget or the plugin that created the widget. You'd have to modify it by hand, and you don't want to get into doing that. All right, so let's go over to our Add New Plugins again here, and we're going to go Widget Logic. Whoops. Widget Logic. And up it comes. There we go. We'll install it. Yes, indeed. Very, very handy plugin here. What it does is it's actually going to add, if we go over to our widgets here, and I'm going to drop this categories widget into the primary area. Notice over here, it's actually created a field called Widget Logic. That's not part of this categories widget. It's been added in by this new plugin we put. Let's take a look at our site for a moment. So there's categories displaying over there. That's our widget we just put in. Now I'm going to put in this logic, and I'm going to say, if not logged in as a user, save that. So now I'm saying, if I'm not a logged in user, show me this. Well, of course I am logged in, and so our widget disappears on us. If I was to log out, the widget would be visible again. Now, if I take away the not, it just says, is user logged in? This widget would only show to logged in users. So these are the kinds of conditionals you can easily put in here to control individual widgets. A very, very handy sort of plugin. There are a few more that I want to mention. We won't have time to sort of install them all and look at them all, but Admin Menu Editor is a great one for decluttering. I mean, you get this sidebar here, this side menu, left side menu. It can get pretty complicated. And let's say I want to be giving my client administrator rights so they can access certain things, but I don't want them to see absolutely everything. I can control it through this admin menu editor. So it can make it less crowded on there and only show them the things they really need. Another way to do that in part is through the Capabilities Manager plugin. This lets you change what different levels of roles can do. So for example, for some reason WordPress does not allow editors to work with the menus because the whole appearance menu is taken away, and menus are under that appearance section. Well, you could tell through this Capabilities Manager, you could tell editors, yes, you can edit menus, you can deal with menus, and they'll show up for them. So that's another way to control what your client is seeing on the site. And one other to mention is Theme Test Drive. This is great for when you already have a WordPress site running and your client wants a new look. So you're working on a new theme, you can actually work on the live site and you see one theme, the public sees the current theme. So you're allowed to view two themes at one time, so to speak, and you are the only one that gets to see the new theme. So that's very handy when you're working on a new design for an existing WordPress site. So those are just some of the plugins that are useful to you as a designer and a developer.